look at him now and frown, cause I burst in this first half of Charlie. I remember clearly it was 3 years ago at Jada Davina's party. So I'm telling him hold it down, right then I'm invisible, he looked past me. Certain times I see him on road and he don't recognise me, he walked past me. And I don't blame him, the shotters are the brothers with the heat. I blame the powers that be, they're the ones that put it on the street.
When the feeling of the rain comes down on me, Mother Earth healing guide over me. From all the pain and mental slavery, this ain't now it's meant to be.
Right. Big shout out to all the DnBNoize gang. Big shout out to the Ashley Waters. This is the Sublow Studio. Signing off for the day. Catch the Noisy Neighbours later on 6 to 8. Don't miss that one. Also coming up 4 to 6, you got Dyer's Idol Hostile Frequency crew. Big shout out to Joshua. Big shout out to Ashley Waters for popping in for a chat. You know how we do. Out to all chat room crew as well. We'll see you again next week. Later.
Son. This a sound boy killer. Him a the #1 killer. DJ. Everywhere you go, him a the killer. Him kill you with the sweet, sweet rhythm. He shock you from the east and then shock you from the west. He shock you from the north and then shock you from the south. Some boy, this a match up the place. Well, ladies, original, strictly original music in the place to keep the place rocking alive. #1 producer, #1 DJ, #1 factor.
Well, nice and easy. I want to say thank you for coming up in here today.
No problem, brother. No problem. It's a pleasure.
Blessing the Sublow Studio, blessing up DnBNoize and everything like that. You know, as we were saying, we just got to try and preach a positive message out there to a few of the youngers that's coming up and stuff like that. You know, but in the meantime, I just want you to, like, most people know you from Soul Solid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the truth. And a lot of people know you for, believe it or not, a negative thing, which is a gun thing. And I just want to clear that up and get that out the way before anything else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Clear that out the way, answer certain people's question.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
I'll be honest with you, when I told certain people that you were coming up here, 1 or 2 people said, "Oh, but he ain't doing nothing no more. I ain't heard from him since So Solid." Yeah. And I said, nah. This brother is still on the circuit harder than other people and has mended certain ways that he did do wrong and is doing better.
I'm surprised there was people that said that though still.
Believe it or not, brother. Believe it or not. As you always know, in the game, there's haters and the players.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying? So
it's part and parcel of the game though, isn't it? That is. So that's something that you just deal with. And I mean, it's funny you said that because the whole gun charge thing was derived from that, you know what I mean, and originated from haters and having jealous people around you.
For real.
And it's just about, I don't know, it's one of those things that now I still get the same amount of people hating me, but I deal with it in a completely different way, you know. And back then, I mean, turn into firearms and try to fight fire with fire and do you know what I mean, step up to the people that were hating on me was a silly idea. Now I just maintain my success, do you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the biggest revenge that you can
just aspire higher and
you know
higher
what I'm saying?
and
And
higher.
just think better, man, and move forward. At the end of the day, there's always going to be people that stop anyone from doing something that's positive and moving forward. You know what I mean? Especially when they aspire to do the same thing as that person. You know what I mean? That makes it even worse for them. And you just have to look at it as that the more you do what you're doing and move forward, the more you're helping those people become what you are. Do you know what I mean?
For real. Because you know what I mean? As I said, certain things you do, it can only make you get better. And as you get better, you get more confident and you think of different ways to channel your energy and to do different things. You know what I'm saying? Different way of thinking.
Definitely. A lot of people take a time in the jail cell, however long they got, to, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, hype themselves up in a certain way, I suppose, and they take the wrong things from their experience. When I went to jail, it was it did the job for me. It did what it says on the tin, you get me? Prison was like, yeah, I didn't want to be there, and every day I knew that, you know what I'm saying? And every day I thought about what I was going to do when I came out to change myself. Whereas I watch a lot of other people and they're not doing that, you know what I'm saying? And kind of using the time for recreation rather than to make a change.
And then move forward. Well, as I was saying as well, just to touch on the Soul Solid still, I mean, you know, you get these kind of programs like, where's this person now? What's this person? You know, them ones like, you know, you see on the program was, where's this person? Where's Asha? Do you still keep in contact with like the members of the Soul Solid, or is it just?
To be fair, if I'm blatantly honest, no. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things, there's a lot of water that went under the bridge, kind of, when we were together. There's a lot of people that still won't talk to each other, you know what I'm saying? If I'm honest, I only really talk to Harvey every now and again, Romeo, and Lisa maybe, but that's about it. And, other than that, everyone's kind of moved their own ways now, you know, and it's gone that far that it's hard to come, you know, it's hard to come back. I know. But at the moment, actually, I don't know whether I'm giving them free advertising, but they got a greatest hits album coming out. But I'm not like, obviously, I mean, I'll probably be a part of it where I'll be on the old tracks, but they got some new stuff on there as well that I haven't really got myself involved in. So, but that's So Solid thing is coming out soon.
Okay. Well, as I said, we touched that, we got that out of the way finally. You know, as I said, there's a lot of people wanted to hear about that. And as I said, you're a man that's doing bigger things than back in the days. And as I said, I've looked and see what you're actually doing. I've heard different things about what you're doing. And as far as I can see, a lot of positive things. Also, it seems that you become a bigger star now than a lot of people thought or even anticipated you would be, as in different movie roles, not just British films or sitcoms, but out there, and so we say like America. Because you know, in England, as we say, if you hit America and you do it out there, you've done it. You're an A-list. You're an A-list celebrity. Furthermore, I've heard you touch on the BBC as well, so that must make you a triple A-list celebrity. It must be. But I mean, how did you actually? We know you started from Grange Hill. But as I say, certain people, certain youngers coming up there, they can't get a break. They don't know certain channels. I mean, how did you actually reach, let's say, to get to the 50 Cent level where you're in that film with Get Rich Trying?
It was just persistence, you know. At the end of the day, I started doing acting at an early age. My mum put me in stage school when I was like 5 or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So from then I was kind of I was acting, I was singing, I was doing music on a weekly basis. And then I ended up kind of, obviously, you know, the Grange Hill thing. But I mean, in general, it's just persistence, brother. It's just not giving up, you know, because 90% of the time, 90% of the films I go up for, whatever, people won't know about it, but I don't get them. What you see is the 10%, you know what I'm saying? So there's another 90% of rejection where you're walking into rooms and people say,
which you don't hear about,
you're not ready for it or whatever. So obviously when you get a job, it gets blown up and everyone but that 50 Cent thing was like just as simple as me. It took me a year to get that role. A whole year. I went up for the first casting. I met the director, it was Jim Sheridan. He's an old school UK director. He made that film My Left Foot back in the day, way back in the day.
I've heard about that still.
And I met him in town. I met him up west, and I brought my script with me and everything. Went there to read, and he was like, "I don't even want you to read today. Eat some lunch." I think he must have been. He was talking about my cheekbones. I thought it was a bit weird. He's like, "Yeah, you got a nice. Your face is good for camera."
Film star talk.
Yeah, like doing that thing. So I was like, "Cool." Didn't hear from the brother for a year, and then I just got a call one evening. They were like, "Yeah, we're flying you out next week." This and that, you know what I mean? So it was sorted. That was basically it.
Wicked. I mean, like I said, but what would you actually, right now in the stages of things that you're doing, would you say that you're actually a actor or more still a musician, as in on the mic, MCing and stuff like that?
I'm torn. Everyone asks this question. I can't answer. I've never been able to. I can't do it now. But yeah, man, I'm torn, brother. It's like one of those things. I love them both the same, but I know